One of the founders of PandoraStar, and today we're going to be talking about how you can use our program Learning to improve your learning skills and your ability to retain the information that you're grappling with. So to really look at how we learn, we're first going to have to talk a little bit about memory and how it functions. So the first stage of memory is working memory, and this works within the first 24 hours, and it's when you're literally picking up everything that's happening during the day and storing it in your short-term memory. Then there's memory coding, and this is short-term to long-term. It happens when you're sleeping or resting or just spacing out, and it's when your memory literally converts the information that you're picking up from your surroundings into long-term memory. And then there's memory recall, and the recall and retrieval is what makes that information useful, because there's no point having it all stored back there if you can't access it. It's a lot like having your book on a computer that's broken down and you can't access the book you've just written. So you have to be able to work and get living information going through, transfer that information into your long-term memory, and then be able to recall it so that you can use it in different situations in your life where it's useful, right? So this program covers all three steps as far as brainwaves are concerned, with the bias being on improving memory coding. Because especially when you're nervous or you're anxious, and when you're trying to learn something new to impress somebody, so let's say your boss at work, or to get good exam results, the anxiety can really screw up the memory and coding phase, because it makes it difficult to rest. It makes it difficult to switch off. So this program has a bias on improving the memory coding stage, but it still covers all three different stages as part of its coding. So research shows that with mental states like trance, there's a strong correlation between theta and gamma. The analogy that we use at Pandora is that two extremes work together like a camera shutter works to capture a moment that the lens is always seeing. So if you think about putting the camera up, it can see the whole room all the time, but you use that little shutter to change how you see the image, how you recall it, and literally to catch a snapshot when you need to, right? But your short-term memory is always seeing everything, and then you're literally using the gamma to choose what bits of the day are important so you can prioritize what to remember. It's not a perfect analogy, but it's pretty goddamn close. There's other research that also shows a strong correlation between low gamma memory recall and retrieval and high gamma in memory encoding and storage. So both happen at once in successful memory and learning. It's the ultimate in multitasking, being able, for example, to follow an old route home from work, right? And at the same time be thinking about what you're going to cook when you get home, or what you want for dinner. Or another example is multiplying numbers from memory and applying it to a new mathematical formula. Or like for me, doing my hair in the morning whilst figuring out how long it's going to take me to record a video, or exactly how long it's going to take me to get to work. So you're using different parts of your brain at the same time. You're using the parts of your brain that know how to do something along with the parts of the brain that are learning something new. Kind of like when you're doing an old workout, but you're increasing the frequency. So you might be doing a sit-up, which you've done 100 times before, but you're doing 100 times instead of 10 times, and you're increasing that intensity. So basically in this program, we've coupled theta and gamma to help create neural ripples and consolidate memories from short-term to long-term. So first discovered in rats, these neural ripples, approximately 100 Hertz range in hypergamma, were then found to be corresponding inside humans, okay? So this program has 3 levels of theta, coupled with and in resonance with 4 levels of low and high gamma, plus hypergamma ripples. In other words, it's the bee's knees for helping you concentrate and focus. As a dyslexic person, I'm telling you, it super helps with the focus and with memorizing things. So basically what you need to do is study what you're studying, and during your short breaks, those 5 to 10, 15-minute breaks, that's when you want to get underneath this program for 20 minutes at a time to really help you transform that information from short-term to long-term and retain it so that you can apply it to the different levels of what you're learning as you're going on, okay? So remember to keep taking those frequent breaks during your learning. Studies really show that doing this acts as mini sleep cycles where information is consolidated. You're not just procrastinating, you are actually consolidating information. Also remember to get quality sleep. I know, easier said than done, but we do have a program for that as well. One of the most important ways of consolidating memory. So use before, during, or after you intend to learn new material, or just as a cognitive boost for thinking and being creative. I tend to use it right before when I'm nervous about a new task I have to do, and during when I have those little mini breaks to help me get out of myself and really get my brain doing what it needs to do without me interfering. If you have questions about how you can use light therapy to improve your learning, then please